and welcome to my review of Haikyuu chapter 236. Yes, Adjust To, and this chapter is the one where we get the sad backstory. It's not really a sad backstory, but we get like more of the opponent team, Tsubakihara, yeah, and we get to know that in their last year of nationals, they failed pretty miserably, and the two third years that they have were really frustrated because they put like all their energy into this match, and they finally got to nationals, and they just like they've been pulling the team along. And when they lost, they were the only two who were like really holding back their tears, even though they really couldn't. And the second and first years, I guess, they were just kind of like feeling numb frustration because they lost and they probably hadn't given it their everything. Like, as it said, it was mainly the third years who had been pulling them along. So now this year they really came to win. They put all their hard work into this, and they didn't come to nationals just to come to nationals. They came to win the thing, which is again really sad when you think about how they are probably gonna lose, because the thing is, if they win this match, then holy crap, that will be the best plot twist ever. But they won't. But they really pull through in this chapter. They do a really good job of defending and attacking. But of course, it's not really enough. I thought we had a really good parallel with their ace when he does that really powerful spike and the ball goes up to the audience and they just go like, oh my god, because it flies over their heads, and then 2 pages later Asahi does the exact same thing and it just goes with such force into the railing of where the audience is, and they're just like, oh my god, because they just get jump scared by the ball just flying into them. So I think that's kind of like the difference between it. Like, they're like, oh my god, they did that, and with Karasuno they're just like, oh my god, they did that. Because Karasuno has a little more force behind them, I feel like, and they are obviously the stronger team. But this chapter was really good just match-wise, because half the chapter is mainly dedicated to this one rally that doesn't end in this chapter. We have Tsukishima finally being rotated to being in the front row, so now that this is where their block is strongest, and Hinata has to serve, and then the rally starts. We have the commentators talking about how Tsukishima is a really annoying read blocker because he just doesn't let the opponent team do whatever they want. Like, even if he doesn't stop the spike, he manages to touch it every time and just make the attack less powerful, which is of course what he did against Ushiwaka, which the opponent team Tsubakihara, they comment on like, this is the setter, or not the setter, this is the middle blocker who put a lot of pressure on Shida Torizawa and stopped Ushiwaka. So Tsukishima at this point has made a reputation for himself, which as a Tsuki fan, that's like amazing, and I just really like it. And if you followed my anime reviews, you'll know that I love him to death. But we have these things going back and forth, and we have a lot of attention on the ace of the opponent team, which is really great because it feels he's like, yeah, he's their ace, and whenever the game gets hard, they toss to him and he does something really cool, like a powerful spike. And by the end, when Tsuki is like, okay, so this guy, from what I can see, he's probably gonna spike across, so that's what they block. And then he's like, no, don't underestimate him, and he goes for a straight. And that is when Hinata finally shows off what he's learned as the ball boy, and he's ready to receive this spike, even though he goes a little too far, and he, instead of like receiving it properly, he takes it to the chest, which probably knocks out all the air from him. But it's really great because Ukai in the end is like, it feels like something we've seen before, instead this time it was intentional, because Hinata has done this quite a few times where he kind of accidentally is in the right spot and then just accidentally takes a ball to the face or something. But this time he intentionally went to where he was supposed to be, because as he has learned from being the ball boy, he has been able, or he's starting to be able to learn to read the treachery of, you know what I mean, of the ball and how to like receive it properly and stuff like that. So it's really great to see that this is finally being useful in a real match, and we're probably gonna see more of that, maybe not in this match, probably not, I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I thought that last page was really great with Hinata finally receiving it, because he's not really known for his receive, but that's what he gets from being the ball boy, that's what he's learned from that. And it's really great to know that they are not completely useless in their receives when Nishinoya isn't there, because of course when the middle blocker is on the back line and they have to serve, the libero can't play because they have to take the spot of the middle blocker, but they can't do that if the middle blocker has to serve. So they need their middle blockers to at least be average or above average receivers, and neither Tsugishima nor Hinata were that at the beginning of the series. Like, they were shitty receivers, both of them. So it's really great to see them grow. I don't think Tsuki has been improving all that much. Like, he's been improving regularly, but not in the same way that Hinata has, because he of course dedicated that whole training camp to being the ball boy, where he really learned the how to receive, or just where to move to get the receive. So he's like one step ahead of Tsukishima there, but of course on the actual blocking, Tsuki is far ahead of him. Which is okay, because I do think that, as I've said before, Hinata will eventually revert to become a wing spiker rather than a middle blocker. But that's all for another time. I think that's ultimately what I have to say about this chapter. It was quite simple, it was enjoyable, and we get to see more of the opponent's team, which we do usually, but it's kind of like the charm of Haikyuu, that we don't just root for Karasuno, but we get a connection to the opponents as well. So even when the opponents lose, it's hard to be like, yeah, we won, because, oh, the others lost, and that's kind of the other line. And the other way around too, when Karasuno loses, it's like, you're not completely sad because this other team that you've learned to like, they won, so it's kind of okay, even though we do want our main characters to advance as far as they can. But yeah, I think that'll be it for my review of Haikyuu. You can leave a thumbs up if you like anything that I had to say, leave in the comments below what you thought of this chapter, and you can subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time, bye!